Okay, so you open your phone to check one thing, maybe the time, maybe a message, and then somehow 45 minutes later, you're watching a video about a diver that specializes in lionfish extermination and has a fish friend that always comes and asks for pets, and you don't even remember clicking on it. You've been there, I've been there, and the weird part is you already know it's happening while it's happening. So you're just watching yourself scroll and thinking, oh, I should stop. And then you're not stopping, as if your hand belonged to somebody else. So today we are actually going to talk about why that happens, why most of the solutions people try don't work, and what actually does. It will not be a 30-day challenge. No need to throw your phone into a lake, although that would be highly effective. Just practical stuff that makes sense when you think about them, and some you will like and some you will not. Now, why should you listen to me about this? Fair question. Here are my credentials. I was completely off social media for around 5 years. So no Instagram, no Twitter, no TikTok. I logged off at the end of 2019 and I did not come back until 2024. And the timing was a bit strange because I logged off right as the world was logging in for good. When COVID hit, everyone I knew moved indoors and online, and I was outside working in the funeral industry. Trains were empty, streets were empty. The places I was going to, though, were not so empty, in fact, quite the opposite. So while the internet was becoming everyone's whole reality and TikTok was growing like crazy, I was dealing with the actual reality. However, when I decided to come back, because I felt kind of not left out, but I was craving community. And I got sucked in within weeks. 5 years of distance and the algorithm still got to me. And that's how I know it's not about willpower and that it really do be this damn phone. First thing first, this is not a you problem. I want to say that clearly because a lot of phone detox content have this undertone of just have more discipline. It's not that hard. And I find that very unhelpful. Social media platforms are built by entire teams of very smart people whose one job is to keep you on the app as long as possible. Not saying that you're stupid. That's just the business model, to make money. And your intention is what gets sold to advertisers. So the longer you scroll, the better the product works. Quite obvious, isn't it? And the way they do it is genuinely clever in kind of a diabolical way. It's called variable reward. Same system as slot machines. So most of what you scroll past is fine, it's neutral, it's whatever, but sometimes something makes you laugh out loud or hits you right in the feelings or it tells you something genuinely interesting. And your brain goes, oh, if I keep going, that might happen again. And so you keep going. And then you layer on top of that, the social stuff, the interactions, like likes, comments, someone reacting to your story, and now even your self-esteem gets involved. The point is, it was engineered to be hard to stop. Knowing that doesn't fix it, but it does mean you can stop beating yourself up for it and start being a little more strategic. Quick question, what is the first thing you do in the morning? If you answered check my phone, well, same historically. When you reach for your phone before you've fully even woken up, you're handing over the first conscious moment of your day to whatever the algorithm decided was interesting this morning. Let's say someone else's drama to which you cannot find part two. I'm a nosy bitch, sorry, I know. The problem is if you start infusing in information like a tea bag in hot water the moment you wake up, you just end up reacting to stuff for the rest of the day. You're just marinating in other people's content and thoughts before you've had a chance to have a single thought of your own. And you're tense. You only realize how tense you are when you stop scrolling. I promise you, the morning news can wait. Even just like 20 minutes of phone-free morning changed things noticeably for me. You don't have to journal or meditate or do anything impressive like cold plunges. Turns out existing is allowed, and you can literally stay seated on the side of your bed and stare at the emptiness and be 100% more productive than scrolling. Okay, here's a popular one. You finally realized you have a phone problem. Congratulations. What do? You buy something to fix it. A dumb phone, a lockbox, an app that block other apps, a beautiful planner, a brick. I understand the impulse, truly. It feels like action. It feels like you're doing something about it. And also, shopping is its own little dopamine hit, and you get excited about changing your life. But here's the issue: none of these things address why you're reaching for the phone. And if you don't know why, you just find a workaround. You use your laptop, you find the app that wasn't blocked, you override the screen limit the second something stressful happens, which, if you're like me, is quite regularly. I have seen that the break does work quite well for some people, and I have considered buying one or making one myself. But listen up. The phone is not the problem. The phone is where you go when something else is missing. Boredom, restlessness, procrastination. A lockbox or screen time limit will not fix that. Now, practical stuff. Make your phone less of a trap before going in and buying an alternative. The goal is boring for passive use and actually good for active use. 4 things. 1. Move social apps off your home screen. Don't delete them. You don't really have to, although I highly recommend, because you can still access them on your computer. Just make yourself go looking. That tiny bit of friction does more than you'd expect. 2. Turn off every notification that isn't from a human being. Apps notifying you is just them requesting your attention on their schedule instead of yours. So AliExpress, Amazon, Netflix, whatever notification, turned off. 3. Grayscale. Now, depending on the OS that you're on, it can change, but grayscale or transparent or like unicolor sounds strange, but genuinely works. Why? Because color is stimulating. Gray is just fine, whatever. You put the phone down sooner without even deciding to. Turn your cell phone into a landline phone when inside your home. The phone stays in one place only. It's easier that way. I have, for example, a charging station on my nightstand, and this is where my phone has been living lately. Honestly, just turn the sound on your cell phone and you will be notified when a call comes in. You're not punishing yourself, you're just designing your environment so the default is slightly more intentional. I'm actually making a whole video on this for iOS and hopefully for Android. So my full setup, tips, mods, step by step. It will be like the cozy version, not like the productivity bro version. So it will be linked below when it's up. Now, here's what genuinely works as a replacement for the scroll. A hobby with low barrier to entry that actually fits who you are. Emphasis on actually fits you. Because I think a lot of people pick hobbies based on what looks nice rather than what feels good. I have done that a lot. I see a YouTuber or like a short doing a craft in a cute stage and well-lit environment with relaxing music, and I tell myself, oh my god, this looks so cool. I bet I can try this. I go buy all the supplies, do it once and never do it again. And the best way to go about this is to go for low barrier or affordable hobbies. You can check dopamine menus on Pinterest, for example, to get ideas. But if a hobby takes 45 minutes to set up, you will not do it when you have 20 minutes free. You'll pick up your phone instead because the phone is always right there and always ready. Your hobby needs to be able to compete with that, at least in the beginning. Things you can pick up and put down without the whole production. Things that don't require a specific location or a lot of equipment. Things where it's okay to be bad at it while you're learning. So it could be drawing with pen and paper, a book, braiding your hair, listening to music on a separate device, literally watching a movie and focusing on it, cooking, making yourself a cute snack, a beverage. Those are hobbies. And here's something that I think is really worth saying. The hobby doesn't have to be productive. It doesn't have to become content. It doesn't need to be a side hustle. The whole point is that it's just for you, not to post on social media. Do not post it on social media. There is a whole conversation to be had about hobbies and why they matter so much, why it should be okay to start a hobby and drop it. I can make a whole other video on the matter. I have so many video ideas if you wish. The difference is in how you feel after 30 minutes of making or doing something versus 30 minutes of scrolling. One leaves you with something, even if it's just small, weird, or just a feeling of satisfaction. The other leaves you with a vague sense of time that has just happened to you. This is the part that nobody wants to hear, and it's the biggest thing those 5 years taught me. You have to get comfortable being bored again. I've had 5 years of waiting for the kettle to boil with nothing to fill the gap with it. We've basically deleted boredom from our lives. Every small moment, waiting for a friend, 2 minutes before a movie starts, the awkwardness when food takes too long at the restaurant will get immediately filled with a screen. And boredom sounds bad, but it's actually where a bunch of useful things happen. Ideas, processing, noticing how you actually feel, how somebody else's feels, remembering that you exist outside of content consumption. We feel like doing nothing is doing something wrong. The first stretch of cutting back on scrolling is uncomfortable, not because you miss the content, but because boredom feels almost physically itchy when you're not used to it. Your brain is going to loudly request stimulation, and that's normal. We have conditioned our brain to do exactly that. If you can sit 5 minutes without immediately feeling it, you're already rewiring something. You start noticing what you actually want to do when nothing is telling you what to do. I want to be very clear. You're going to slip up multiple times, probably. I slip up all the time. You'll have a rough week and spend an entire evening doom scrolling, and you'll catch yourself deep in a rabbit hole with absolutely no memory of how you got there. You'll hear yourself, oh, just 5 more minutes, which is a lie. It's always a lie. And 45 minutes later, you will still be there. That's not failure. That's just what changing a habit looks like. The 30-day challenge framing doesn't help here because it treats one sleep as the end of the whole project. And it isn't. Every time you notice what you're doing and put it down, that counts. Even if you already scrolled for 20 minutes before noticing, the noticing is the skill. The goal was never to never touch your phone again. The phone is a tool. The goal is to be the one deciding when and how instead of getting pulled in without meaning to. So fail, notice, try again, and that's it. Last week I asked you for your favorite doom metal bands and you guys delivered. I listened and I have to say Mesa really did it for me. The first album, Belfry, was really a hit for me. Perfect mix of goth and doom. This week's new genre recommendation request is cool jazz. Please drop your recommendations down below and I'll make sure to take a look. I don't think social media is going anywhere, and I'm not here to tell you to delete everything and go live off the grid. Some of my favorite things happen on those apps, including arguably the videos that I do and the community I'm looking to build. Social media should be considered an infrastructure. It doesn't have to be a whole identity, Use the tool, don't get used by it. You're allowed to want more than that for your time. And it doesn't take a dramatic life overhaul, just some small, deliberate choices made repeatedly, and give yourself grace when you mess up, which you will, and that's fine. And if you keep doing it, just get a dumb phone and it will be fine. As always, thanks for watching and have a good one.